Well, good day, folks. I am here today at Hillside Memorial Park in Culver City, California. Been wanting to come here for quite a while. There's many famous Hollywood celebrities, executives, and producers that are buried here. There's the classical act of Al Jolson. Al Jolson is buried just at the top of a waterfall at the entrance of the cemetery. He was famous in the 20s and 30s as being the original blackface. He was quite a singer, dancer, actor on theater and in film. There's Jack Benny and Milton Berle, famous comedians who had their own TV show. They're very popular among the World War II generation. There's Michael Landon. He's buried here. You may remember him from Little House on the Prairie and Bonanza and other TV shows. There's Jerry Rubin of the Chicago 7. Now that's a 6-hour conversation all by itself, the Chicago 7. He was part of the counterculture crowd of the 60s and the 70s. There's Leonard Nimoy. For those of you who are Star Trek fans, my daughter and I are Star Trek fans. There's Larry King, the TV talk show, the king of talk shows, they called him, and many, many others. While I'm here, I'm going to briefly show you the grave of Mo Howard, which I'm right by, the Three Stooges. Mo died in 1975 of lung cancer, unfortunately. He was quite a smoker, but he lived 77 years. And there's his beautiful wife, Helen Howard. She was a cousin of Harry Houdini, in case you didn't know that. So, hello, Howard family, Three Stooges family. The reason I'm here is I'm going to go to the grave of Mickey Cohen, which is just a few steps from here. There he is, the grave of Meyer Harris Cohen. In case you don't know this name, this guy was greatly feared in Los Angeles back in the 20th century. He was an American gangster. He was born in New York City, September 4th, 1913. His gravestone says 1914. He was born in New York City to Jewish parents. He was raised in New York, but he, from an early age, got into trouble. He had no father. His father died when he was very, very young. So I think you can see the importance of fathers in the life and development of every child. He used to sell newspapers as an 8-year-old boy, but a few years after that, actually just a year after that, he was sent to reform school for petty crimes like shoplifting and theft. Yeah, at 9 years old, he was sent to reform school. It's too bad his dad wasn't around in his life. As a teenager, he began boxing in illegal prize fights in Los Angeles. He became a lightweight boxer in Los Angeles and then followed his elder brother to Cleveland, where he continued his quest to be a professional boxer. He claims to have gone on to Chicago from there, and he actually met Al Capone. While he was at Cleveland, though, he met up with Benjamin Bugsy Siegel. Now, by this time, he was like 20, 21 years old. He met up with Benjamin Bugsy Siegel, the famous gangster who ran the Flamingo Hotel. Mickey Cohen and Bugsy Siegel were actually close associates. Mickey Cohen was involved in the Flamingo Hotel, even though Bugsy Siegel ran it. As you remember, Benjamin Siegel was executed by the New York mob because he was skimming money from the Flamingo Hotel. But anyway, back to Mickey Cohen. In 1942, he served a 6-month sentence for illegal bookkeeping. He eventually moved back to Los Angeles and took over the entire territory of Los Angeles from the mobster that was in control at that time, Jack Dragna. Jack Dragna didn't really have ties to the New York mob, but he was a tough guy. But eventually, he died of natural causes. Mickey took the whole territory over and ran betting parlors. He ran and oversaw prostitution houses, narcotics selling and trading. It's said that he was involved in murders. I don't know how true that is. It's probably true. There were 11 attempts made on Mickey's life. 11 attempts. And every one of them failed. One time, someone, a mobster, even firebombed the house that he was living in Brentwood. The only reason why Mickey escaped death was because he wasn't in the room where the bomb was. He went to the bathroom to wash his hands. This guy had obsessive compulsive disorder, so he was frequently using water and soap, very frequently. And it just happened to save his life that time. He eventually got an armored car, very similar to the armored car that Al Capone drove around in, just to just to escape the effect of bullets. Well, the authorities couldn't arrest him and make any charges stick, but eventually the feds came in and arrested him on tax evasion. They arrested him twice, so he was sent to prison, 2 different prisons, for tax evasion. The guy was released in 1955 and became an international celebrity. The news media and the entertainment media followed this guy around. At one point, they even consulted him about what to do about the Patty Hearst kidnapping. If you remember that situation, Patty Hearst was kidnapped by the Symbionese Liberation Army, and she became one of them. And they were knocking off banks. And he was consulted about what to do about it, as if he was some kind of professional consultant, somebody to be honored. Anyway, eventually, Mickey never died of murder. He never died. He was never assassinated. He eventually died of natural causes at the age of 62, complications of stomach cancer. So what bugs me, what really troubles me about Mickey Cohen's life was not so much his criminal behavior, as outrageous as it was. It was the fact that the entertainment media and the news media elevated this guy like he was some kind of celebrity to be admired. You know, the news media has had a bad reputation recently, and with good reason. We all know why. But they were no different back 50, 60 plus years ago. They weren't the news media wasn't interested in truth. Never was, isn't now. They're not interested in truth or facts. They're interested in views. They're interested in ratings. They're interested in the bottom line, money, just like Mickey Cohen was. So, you know, live and learn. Don't get your facts from the news media. Don't get it from social media. Don't get it from the entertainment media, because the only thing they're following isn't facts. They're following sensation. They want views. And that's really sad that in 60 plus years, the media hasn't changed. That's what bothers me the most about Mickey Cohen's life, was the fact that, well, they did the same with John Gotti in New York City. This guy was a celebrity. Al Capone had quite a bit of celebrity status in Chicago. And folks, please, let's look up to God. He should be the focus of our thinking, not some mobster like Mickey Cohen. So, can I say rest in peace to Mickey Cohen? I could, but my words wouldn't be true. Anyway, look for truth look for truth where it is. And truth is not to be found in the media. So, anyway, that's my little spiel for the day.